Stress is something everyone experiences. Deadlines, responsibilities, unexpected events, they all trigger a natural response in your body. In the short term, stress can be helpful. It sharpens focus, increases alertness, and gives you a burst of energy to handle challenges. But what happens when stress becomes chronic, lingering day after day? That's when things get silent and dangerous. Your brain is highly sensitive to stress hormones, particularly cortisol. When cortisol levels stay elevated for long periods, they begin to subtly reshape brain function and structure. This doesn't happen overnight. You may feel fine. Memory seems intact. Focus feels normal. Yet internally, stress is quietly affecting your neurons, reducing your brain's plasticity, weakening connections in areas that manage memory and learning, amplifying circuits that heighten anxiety. Over time, these changes can lead to reduced cognitive resilience, difficulty focusing, mood swings, and even a higher risk of age-related cognitive decline. In this video, we'll explore how chronic stress impacts your brain over years, the areas most affected, and the practical steps you can take to protect and strengthen your mental resilience. The first area we'll look at is the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub, and how stress subtly shrinks its effectiveness over time. The hippocampus is the part of your brain responsible for memory formation, learning, and emotional regulation. Chronic stress has a subtle but powerful effect on it. When stress hormones, especially cortisol, remain elevated for long periods, the hippocampus becomes less efficient at forming new memories. Retrieval of existing memories can slow down. Emotional regulation can become more difficult. This means that over months and years, even if you feel normal, your brain is gradually adapting to a high-stress environment. Short-term memory lapses, mild forgetfulness, and difficulty concentrating can begin to appear, often attributed to being busy rather than the underlying stress. Interestingly, chronic stress also reduces neurogenesis, the process by which new neurons are created. Fewer new neurons mean your brain's ability to adapt, learn, and recover from stress decreases over time. The good news? These effects are not permanent if addressed early. Regular stress management, restorative sleep, and intentional mental exercises help protect the hippocampus and preserve memory function. Next, we'll explore the amygdala, the brain's threat detector, and how stress rewires it to make you more reactive over time. The amygdala is your brain's emotional alarm system. It detects threats and triggers the fight-or-flight response. Under chronic stress, the amygdala becomes hyperactive. This means it reacts faster, stays on alert longer, and sometimes signals danger even when there is none. The effects are subtle but impactful: heightened anxiety or irritability, overreaction to minor stressors, and difficulty calming down after a stressful event. Over months and years, this hyperactivity can make your brain more wired for stress than for calm. Even when your body is safe, your brain perceives threat and keeps stress hormones elevated. This constant alertness also affects other brain regions. It can suppress the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic and decision-making, reinforces negative emotional patterns, and contributes to sleep disturbances and fatigue. The encouraging part is that the amygdala is adaptable. Mindfulness, meditation, controlled breathing, and stress reduction practices help retrain the amygdala. Over time, it becomes less reactive, reducing overall stress hormone exposure. Next, we'll look at how chronic stress affects connectivity across the brain, subtly reducing cognitive resilience. Chronic stress doesn't just affect individual brain regions. It also changes how different parts of the brain communicate. Long-term exposure to stress hormones can weaken connections between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, reduce overall cognitive flexibility, and make it harder to regulate emotions or adapt to new situations. This is why stress can make you feel distracted, forgetful, overwhelmed by minor tasks, or mentally foggy. Even if you seem fine on the outside, your brain may be slowly wiring itself for stress, prioritizing alertness over calm, memory, and executive function. The good news, your brain is plastic, meaning it can change and adapt at any age. With consistent lifestyle strategies, you can restore healthy connectivity and strengthen resilience. Regular physical exercise increases blood flow and growth factors for neurons. Mindfulness and meditation enhance prefrontal cortex control. Social connections and stimulating activities improve cognitive flexibility. By understanding how stress rewires your brain over time, you gain the tools to protect and even restore cognitive function. Next, we'll explore sleep, recovery, and daily habits that amplify or mitigate stress's long-term effects. Sleep is one of the most critical ways your brain recovers from stress, yet it is often overlooked. When stress is chronic, cortisol levels remain elevated even at night. This interferes with deep restorative sleep, which is essential for memory consolidation, emotional regulation, clearing metabolic waste from the brain, and repairing neural connections. Poor sleep creates a vicious cycle. The brain becomes more sensitive to stress, emotional responses become amplified, and focus, problem-solving, and memory decline. Even small improvements in sleep quality can dramatically protect your brain from stress-related damage. Simple strategies include maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, creating a calm, dark, cool environment, avoiding screens or high-stimulation activities before bed, and practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. Think of sleep as the brain's reset button. When stress interferes with this process, the hidden effects accumulate quietly over time. Next, we'll discuss nutrition, movement, and lifestyle habits that either protect or accelerate stress-induced brain changes. Sleep is one of the most critical ways your brain recovers from stress, yet it is often overlooked. When stress is chronic, cortisol levels remain elevated even at night. This interferes with deep restorative sleep, which is essential for memory consolidation, emotional regulation, clearing metabolic waste from the brain, and repairing neural connections. Poor sleep creates a vicious cycle. The brain becomes more sensitive to stress, emotional responses become amplified, and focus, problem-solving, and memory decline. Even small improvements in sleep quality can dramatically protect your brain from stress-related damage. Simple strategies include maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, creating a calm, dark, cool environment, avoiding screens or high-stimulation activities before bed, and practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. Think of sleep as the brain's reset button. When stress interferes with this process, the hidden effects accumulate quietly over time. Next, we'll discuss nutrition, movement, and lifestyle habits that either protect or accelerate stress-induced brain changes. Chronic stress can quietly reshape your brain over years, affecting memory, focus, emotional balance, and resilience. But the story doesn't have to end there. Your brain is highly adaptable, even in adulthood. To protect it from the hidden effects of stress, focus on consistent, intentional habits. Prioritize restorative sleep to allow your brain to reset and repair. Move your body regularly, boosting blood flow and neuronal growth. Eat nutrient-rich anti-inflammatory foods to support cellular health. Practice stress reduction techniques like meditation, breathing exercises, or mindfulness. Foster social connections to provide emotional support and reduce stress perception. Even small, consistent actions create a cumulative effect, strengthening neural connections, balancing hormones, and improving cognitive resilience. The key takeaway: stress doesn't have to silently take control of your brain. With awareness, daily habits, and intentional recovery, you can protect, restore, and even enhance your brain function over time. Remember, chronic stress is invisible, but the power to influence its effects is in your hands.